I love it. Oh, I am so glad. I'm so glad to finally have a standing desk. Like, this is spectacular. I, last night, sent out a proposal. I sent it out to Ashley at Buttercream. Let's see what the full name is. Buttercream Cake Design Studio. Ashley is incredible, and she makes incredible cakes, and we're about to just blow it up for her. The brand expression that we're doing for her, and her idea that like her tagline is cakes that travel. She's based out in the mountains in Big Sky country in America, but she will make you a cake for wherever your wedding is, whether it's in New York or on the West Coast or another continent. She will make you a cake. She's incredible, and we have some awesome stuff coming up. I sent her a proposal for business cards and for what she calls a save the date, an invitation to cake tasting. The save the date we're rocking on. We're gonna get cranking on that shortly. The business card, my sketch work wasn't all that great in communicating some of it, and I think there's a little more to flesh out in making that happen. So I'll show you. That is what the sketch for business cards look like. It is essentially, wedding cakes are, it's suggested that they be cut. In fact, Ashley has a really great little cut guide here. Cut in rectangles, in 1 inch by 2 inch rectangles. So the card is 2 inches by 4 inches, essentially 4 of those rectangles. Yeah, 4 of those rectangles. And my thought was maybe we do a cut that is like a bite taken out of it. I don't love the bite idea unless it comes out the way I think it might. Like, it's got to be just right. And then I love it. But if it doesn't come out just right, there's some other ideas I have. And essentially they're built around like, what would it look like to look at the top of this cake? And so I have created here in Adobe Illustrator some files for a test. But first I need to glue up some paper. Let's do that. Blue works. I'm not at all worried about colors. I am just worried about kind of the physicality of everything. These, by the way, these are some note cards that I'll show you in hopefully the next video. Let's get through this first. This is only a test. I am so glad I got that desk on casters. So it's really loud in here. Right off the bat, I have to set up the laser on my new computer. Okay, let's build this out. So close. Some of these are just barely perfect. Let's try that again. And now comes the moment of truth. And this is the moment I've been waiting for. No. Yeah. That worked in concept. Yeah. I dig that. All right, it is now a couple days later. It's Monday. Went through the weekend. Ashley, these were cool ideas. Ashley didn't love them for her brand. And honestly, the save the date we're doing for her cake tastings, I'm thrilled with. This, I wasn't quite sure was right either. So, it is dark in here because they are, what are they doing? Because there are electricians outside resurfacing the entire building. And so apparently like two of the units have power, but the rest of us don't, and like all day. So I'm here cleaning up and getting a little bit of work done, waiting for a delivery, and then I'm gonna go computer work from somewhere else because I don't have internet or power or anything. Anyway, after talking, Ashley and I came to an idea that I think is way better for her. She had seen Matthew Myram's card as the very first thing that she loved about what I did. It's kind of the reason we're working together. And so we wanted to continue that work because one of the things that she does in her brand work is use acrylic a lot. And so she really did love the idea of doing acrylic. And I love the idea of the acrylic with paper backing, but we're gonna do this. And this isn't necessarily the right shape exactly, but we're going to put a quote, instead of on the acrylic, we're gonna put it directly onto paper in front of part of the acrylic to create an additional layer. So it'll be a crazy thick card. I'm working on paper choices right now. We have a design already. I cannot wait to show you that design. I'm waiting on a couple answers from her this morning. She is in a different time zone, so it's like early morning for her right now. We're gonna get that done, and you will probably see that in the next video. There is not a lot else I can do around here that's exciting besides clean. Which I am taking a few minutes to do while I'm waiting for these packages to show up. So I am doing that, but let me show you real quick. Like, this is for real what's going on with the electric. The whole service panel is off the building right now. Those guys, I think they showed up around 5 o'clock this morning, and they said it'll be 5 or 6 before they're done today. I do not... Man, electricity scares the crap out of me. I can't see it and it can kill me. I know enough to be dangerous, and so, yeah, my best to them for taking care of this. So, actually, you know what? It's worth noting. Let me share this with you because a lot of you love kind of the nuts and bolts of how things work. One of the things that is really great about what's happening outside is I have had some power issues in the building. Specifically related to 220 supply. My understanding of all of this is relatively elementary, but essentially a lot of presses, the equipment that we run is run on 3-phase power, which requires 3 legs of what is essentially like standard voltage, but 3 of them. And my understanding is that has to do with, particularly with motor starting, the extra voltage can power up a motor efficiently, all that kind of stuff. Your building has to have 3-phase service in order for that to work. Mine does not. So I have a few things that are 3-phase. That motor down there is 3-phase for the foil press. The motor for the windmill is standard 110. This is 220, and the cutter, all that back there, that's 3-phase too. So one way around that, a way that I have been told is the right way, you, if you understand electricity, may tell me it's the wrong way, whatever, is to use a variable frequency drive, a VFD. That is my VFD, which I've wired to my switch here The potentiometer is supposed to control the speed of the press. Right now it doesn't because it's the wrong, the scale, it's like logarithmic and not linear. So it goes from 0 to full blast in like a tiny little dial, and I need it to go smoothly from slow to fast. So I need to replace the pot there to make that work. Otherwise, the guts of the cutter are on a VFD, and this is on a VFD. I think that the other Kluge, I think that is some sort of phase converter. I don't understand these things enough, which is why I leave this to other people, except for when I call my friend Rob, who tells me how to do all of the things I need to do. So like if you watch Alex Steele's videos, I love his videos about blacksmithing and bladesmithing. He talks a lot about VFDs because that's what they use to run their grinding belts. The VFD controls the speed, but it also takes 220, which is 2 legs of kind of standard household electrical line, and you put 220 into the machine, and out spits essentially 3-phase. So the 3-phase motor can be controlled by both in terms of speed and on off, and a bunch of other stuff too, can be controlled by the VFD. And the VFD is a much more affordable option than like getting 3-phase service to the building, or the other option is like a rotary phase converter, but those make an incredible amount of noise, have to be turned on separately. Some other stuff, I would love for some discussion, pros, cons, all that kind of stuff in the bottom if you know. Anyway, what has happened in this studio multiple times is my breaker outside at the main service panel, one leg of that breaker was corroded. And so occasionally I would lose half of the power in my studio. The lights in the back would go off. All of the 220 equipment, because it uses both sides of the service, all of the 220 equipment would go down. The backlights would go down. A bunch of other stuff would go down. And I would have to go back there and reset the breaker half a dozen times, hearing all sorts of weird sizzle because apparently it was corroded. And spending the money to fix it when we knew this big fix was coming didn't make sense. So now, theoretically, everything from the pigtail into the building will be clean. And then a lot of the electrical in this studio is relatively new, newer than the building at least. And so that should solve those problems. So anyway, I'm gonna work on organizing a little bit more here until my packages arrive. And then I'm gonna head out and get some design work done, some proposals done, and be back bright and early tomorrow to be printing. Ashley's stuff, we're gonna start printing it literally in the next 2 days. So you should see that in the next video. I cannot wait to show you what we're making with her. It's gonna be incredible. I got a couple other awesome projects I can't talk about yet. One I signed an NDA on, which once some things happen, I will be able to share with you, and I cannot wait. That one's gonna be awesome. In the meantime, please do the things you do, like, subscribe, hit the bell. If you'd like to support this channel, there is a Patreon at patreon.com/afinepress. And I do want to thank my patrons, especially Torsten Jansky, who has been supporting since I launched it. Thank you so much. If you would like to do that, you can go to Patreon and do so. Link in the description below. Until next time, see you later.